never going to get it. I don't care if I'm on my deathbed and they say it can save you, I'm not going to get it. I'm principally now opposed to it.
Conservative propagandist Candace Owens accidentally admitted to her entire anti-vax grift during a taping of one of her shows. Check this out and then I'll explain.
Next question. Are you really unvaccinated? Really? And then there is a shared tweet that says Candace Owens is lying to her followers about being vaccinated. And it shows me at the UFC. And it's, I guess, planning for your event. Oh, the Madison Square Garden website, which says that you've had at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine prior to attending. I would say to the people, first and foremost, I am obviously unvaccinated. You follow the story of me trying to get a COVID test in Aspen, and I only had to get a COVID test to show that it was negative because I was unvaccinated. So I didn't go through those jumps and hoops pretending to be vaccinated. I am not getting this vaccine ever. Never going to get it. I don't care if I'm on my deathbed and they say it can save you, I'm not going to get it. I'm principally now opposed to it, and I do not understand why anybody who is healthy, able-bodied, and young would ever get this vaccine if you're not at risk of COVID. Again, personal choice. You can choose something differently. Regarding the UFC event, I would instruct you not to visit the Madison Square Garden website, but to visit the New York City Law website. You better understand that every time the elites make laws for you, there is a way that they can get around the laws that they're making for you. And there are carve-outs in New York City of when you do not need to present a vaccine card. Unfortunately, I fall under one of those carve-outs.
Incredible. So I have several points to make here. Let me first start by saying it doesn't matter whether or not she is personally vaccinated. That doesn't matter. What matters is how society interacts with her. She has a massive platform. She is a big celebrity in the conservative world, at least. What she says about the vaccines and that impact of what she says on her audience, on society, that's what matters. What she does personally, I don't care if she's personally vaccinated or not. It doesn't matter. I still think she is. I'll get to why in a minute. But it doesn't matter. So what matters is the lies that she spreads. And this goes to her big accidental admission here. She says, quote, "I don't care if I'm on my deathbed and they say it's going to save you, I'm not going to get it." She's admitting there that this is not about life or death. This is not about the science. This is not about the efficacy of the vaccine. This is simply a culture war issue for her. That on principle, she's against the vaccine. But what principle? If it's going to save your life and you're still not going to get it, then what's the principle? The principle is that this is a culture war issue for her. She has turned this into a culture war issue. Has nothing at all to do with the data, with the science, with the efficacy of the vaccine. Otherwise, she would get it if it was going to save her life. Now, of course, that isn't how vaccines work anyways. I mean, if she had COVID on her deathbed, getting the vaccine in the last moments of her life is not going to save her life. But even in the situation that she describes there, she is accidentally admitting that this is not about how effective the vaccine is. This is simply a culture war issue for her, which is why you can't trust anything that comes out of this lady's mouth. Which gets to this next part. So, Madison Square Garden. So she raised the topic there. This has come up since she claimed she was not vaccinated, yet somehow was at an event at Madison Square Garden that requires you to be vaccinated to get in there. She says, don't go to the MSG website. Go to the New York Law website. Okay, let's go to the New York Law website, where it says here, people ages 5 to 12 are required to show proof they have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and people 12 and older must show proof of 2 doses, except for Johnson & Johnson recipients, which is just 1 dose. And you go down here and it says for indoor entertainment and certain meeting spaces, including movie theaters, music, and concert venues. There you go. Madison Square Garden. And if you go to the Madison Square Garden website, same thing. You must, as she showed you in that screenshot, you must be vaccinated. So either she is vaccinated, which I think she is, or, as she also says there, the elites can get around it. So I'm not sure if she realized what she was saying in that moment, but she said every time the elites make laws for you, there are ways that they can get around the laws, which I don't disagree with. I do think the elites often do clearly get around the law, but she's part of that. So if she is saying that she's unvaccinated and she went to Madison Square Garden unvaccinated and she's saying elites get around the laws, then she is saying that she is an elite that got around the law. Remarkable. It's remarkable that anybody listens to Candace Owens, anyone takes her seriously when she is here clearly admitting that the vaccine is simply a culture war issue for her. She doesn't care about the actual data or science around it. That she is saying she's an elite, but here she is trying to put on a show that is for conservatives, I guess, that think they are fighting against the elites, which is absurd to me when all these people like Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, they are funded by massive billionaires to put on a certain show that often, if you notice, focuses largely on culture war issues. They focus on culture war issues because they don't want to talk about how low taxes are for the wealthy and massive corporations. They don't want to talk about how low wages are for the vast majority of people. They don't want to talk about how the vast majority of people can't get health care because moving to a Medicare for all system is the answer, but they can't say that because that would not be serving the elites. So, issue after issue after issue, they often ignore the economic issues. They often ignore issues of healthcare and other issues where the answer to all of these problems is a real safety net, a Medicare for all system in some cases, or in other cases, higher wages, higher taxes on the wealthy. But none of that is addressed. Instead, they focus on culture war issues, or they take issues like a science issue like climate change or vaccines and turn that into a culture war issue. It's all disgusting, but it's all done in a way to distract you from what is really going on.